What's up, YouTube? Robert Dunbar here, Training by Dunbar. Yes, I am in my home office shooting a video. And yes, you saw the title right. Leaders don't panic. And we have to put videos together like this really because we know when we hear these epidemics and we hear this stuff going on, some of us have to get together and put together videos to make sure that people just understand not really the science of things. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to talk about anything that has to do with what the virus really is and all this kind of stuff, because I'm not a doctor. That's not my background. I don't profess to know any of those things. But this is about mindset and understanding that panic doesn't help no matter what the scenario is. And there's always so much negative news out there. We want people to focus on moving forward, protecting their families, being able to produce things from home, and being able to stay stable, especially when you're the leader of a household. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. Leadership is leadership. So we want you to be leaders and not panic, so that the people who are following your leadership, whether it be in a business, whether it be at home, can do it by not looking at modeling knowledge, by not looking at their leader panic. So if you can go ahead and smash the subscribe button on the right hand side of the screen, that would be fantastic. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell so that you get notified twice a week as I drop videos on my YouTube channel. So I really appreciate you guys taking a look at my videos and making comments on my videos, and it really is helping my subscriptions go up. It really is helping my my progress go up as I build my list for my book release and all the other things surrounding becoming an entrepreneur. So again, Robert Dunbar, Training by Dunbar. Just another video for you all. I try to keep them under 10 minutes when I shoot these videos so that everybody can watch it in a manner of not being overwhelmed by too much information here. So let me start by telling you all, first of all, thanks for all the people who wished me well. And when I was sick and all those different things, you didn't miss nothing big. I was only sick for 2 days. But I know, like, of course, my good friend Sharanda Ivy, she reached out to me several times because when I got sick, I actually was on the phone with her. And Miss Tilly's out of the Virginia, DMV area reached out to me, and I need to get back with you too as well. So I appreciate you reaching out to me because I know you knew I was sick as well. You did some prayer for me. And for all my other prayer warriors who prayed for me when I got sick. So wanted to shoot this video because I do a lot of traveling, sometimes plane, most of the time in the vehicle, in the car. But I did some traveling last weekend to Virginia. Went and had a phenomenal time in Hampton, Virginia. Super energetic crowd. And just real quickly, shout outs to my man Will Dotsey and his beautiful wife, and also my man Russell P. and for having just a knockout energetic event. I shared the stage with my good friend Mr. Rob Hurst, network vice president over several states, him and his beautiful wife April Hurst. I wanted to just shoot this video because I want to talk about leaders not panicking on several different levels as it comes to what's happening here with the coronavirus and things like that. Well, I got sick on my drive back. I actually drove from Virginia to Savannah, Georgia to do a lounge meeting for a transportation company. And in the process of me doing that, somehow I got sick either in my travels or I caught something somewhere. And it doesn't matter where I caught it and how I caught it. I mean, for this video, it just doesn't matter where I got it from. But I caught a virus, and when I got checked out, I pulled over. I got dizzy. I pulled over. I did my teledoc thing. So I do have like a doctor I can call. And he was like, hey, go to urgent care just to make sure because all of what's going on. And I went and did that. And I went and got checked out. And long story short, I had something called the adult virus. And the adult virus was something that had me with a fever. I had body aches. I had a couple of dizzy spells, vomiting, diarrhea, some other things that were going on. Something similar to coronavirus, but it clearly was not the coronavirus. And I was really never under the impression that I had it. So this video is not about me feeling like I escaped coronavirus. This video is not about me at all. It's really about the idea of not panicking. But long story short on that, I was able to pick up some, I picked up some Mucinex and some Theraflu and some cough drops and some of those things I already had. And I got some bed rest. And in about 2.5 days, I was kind of over it. I did have some coughing as well. So I did those things. And, this morning I was back in the gym. I was on the treadmill. I did the treadmill for 60 minutes. I was good on that. I hadn't been to the gym since Monday, since the day I got sick. So I actually went to the gym on Sunday, but then ever since Sunday, I hadn't been in the gym until this morning, actually. So I did get something. I was able to get over it. But in the process of me having that illness, that adult virus, I looked up a bunch of things up. And, I work with the organization, and you'll always see on all of my images, you'll see TMV on the bottom right-hand side of the screen or the upper left or something like that. I'll have the TMV logo along with my logo, Training by Dunbar. And, this organization, which was built by Darnell Tracy Self and Mike Humes and some other phenomenal millionaire club member, success-oriented, really some grandiose thinking mindsetters over 20 years ago in a basement in, I believe, Princess George's, Maryland. And they've just done a phenomenal job of building up an organization that has made over hundreds of millions of dollars. And I'm a part of that organization. And I've been doing personal development for years. And working with that organization, they do it. We do a book a month. And I mean, just a lot of very strong, mentally strong men and women who are very adept and make sure that we push through whatever scenario. And what's great about being a part of an organization like that is that you get taught not to, to lead from the front and not to be scared of things, not to panic, not to be fearful. So I'm shooting this video really because, the news is doing what the news does. They're not scaring you because they want to hurt you. They're not scaring you because they're scaring you because they got to keep up with the other news stations. They have to have the top, horrible stories so that you watch them, because people like drama. I mean, that's why reality shows do so well. That's why stories about people being hurt and harmed and scared and killed and all that kind of stuff that's the way we think. We like to see it. We don't want it to be our real life, but we like to see it in other people's lives because some of us are just messed up and we want to see people messed up worse than us. That's kind of what that mentality is. But mindset is about putting the right thing into your mind. So I want you guys to start looking at some different things in this time, because look, we can call it an epidemic and not call it an epidemic. Things are going to happen the way they're going to happen. Cruise lines are going to shut down. Airlines are going to shut down. Conventions and special events are going to stop happening. We may see some quarantining going on. We're going to see the government do National Guard stuff maybe, and all kind of things are going to happen because there are precautionary measures. And there's nothing against those things. Like, there's nothing wrong with our president saying, hey, look, we need to shut some things down, set some travel bans. Like, this is not the time to Obama, Trump, Clinton, Bush. We got to come together. This is a time where you have to look at everybody being on the same page and everybody being vigilant, everybody being extra cautious, so that, because really the only thing that stands to win here is a virus. Right? Like, us as humans, we got to stick together so that we don't lose to a virus. We know that this is not that big of a deal, meaning that unless you have some kind of immune deficiency disorder or something else that causes that allows this virus to do more harm to you'll probably survive it if you do get it. So what I would encourage you to do is really look at the success stories. Like, train your mind. I train on this all the time. Mindset. Train your brain on what you wanted to know, understand, and believe. So stop looking at the stories of this many people died and look at the stories of how many people survived. Stop looking at the horror stories and look at the good stories of people are saying, hey, I didn't go through a whole bunch. I was sick for 2 or 3 days. Yeah, it was bad. It was a virus. It wasn't no worse than the flu. I caught it. I took some medications and I got over it. Those are the stories that you should be looking at, because those are the stories that are really going to help you understand that people are getting by. If all you read is how many people die, then that's what you're thinking. If you hear about how many people survived, then that's what you're going to be thinking. Should you be precautious and vigilant? Absolutely. I went to the gym today. I didn't even go in the locker room because I read some things and it said that at this point in time, with this being fresh, the gym is probably the biggest, one of the places that you can catch it the fastest, because it's not going to be as clean. Gyms just don't clean that well, and we ain't gonna this ain't gonna be a video about that, but we all know that gyms only clean so good. Got one or two people walking around there cleaning, and in a situation like that, you want heavy cleaning. So I didn't go in the locker room. I went into the gym, and I didn't even have to put my gloves on because I got on a treadmill. All I did was treadmill today. So I went and I took my bag. I sat it next to the treadmill. I had my drink out already. I wiped the machine down thoroughly before I got on it. I got on it, put hand sanitizer on my hands, and I did my treadmill for an hour. When I was finished, I wiped the machine down. I wiped my hands off again, and I left the gym. I didn't touch anybody else. The people that I know in the gym, I didn't even pound them. Like we're saying, elbow and pound, I didn't do any of that. Because not only because I'm concerned about me catching something, but because I just got over something. So I didn't want to risk that even elbow to elbow. So I just stayed away from everybody. I just kind of high-fived them or whatever I did. And people understand in this day and time that if I don't touch you, I'm not being funny, but we're being hyper vigilant right now. So, your family, your kids, not going to church, look at church online, do things like that. Like, make use of your time. If they're saying, hey, you can't go out and we want you to stay, go pick up the stuff you need for your house, put it in your house, read some books, catch up on some downtime work, right? Some of us, we run home businesses. We've been pushing home business for years. So, excuse me. We've been pushing home business for years. So for us, we're able to make money. I don't need to see a banker. I don't need to see anybody because I have a home business. And when people do business with me, I get a direct deposit. So at the end of the day, I don't need to do anything. I stayed in the house yesterday pretty much. I wouldn't have to go make one move. I stayed in the house yesterday pretty much. And did some paperwork and made some things happen on my side and got a $450 deposit. Right? A little bit under $450 deposit. Why am I saying that? Because I didn't have to meet anybody. I didn't have to shake anybody's hand. I was able to talk over the phone. I was able to do some things on my computer, submit it on my computer, and wake up this morning and see that I was getting a deposit. So you can work from home. So a lot of the business partners I have right now, they're setting up all kinds of things at home. They're setting up things saying, hey, look, and obviously this video is going over 10 minutes, but I'm not finished. So they're setting up things saying, look, if you're going to be stuck at home, look at earning some extra income while you're at home. If God forbid they do something and say, hey, look, you guys can't do anything for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They always shut schools down in Florida until the 31st of March. What are you going to do? If your kids are home, in your home, what are you going to do? Lock yourself in one of your bedrooms and work from home. Your computer still work. People can get in front of their computer. You can't catch a virus on a Zoom call. You can't be on the Facebook Live and catch it. Catch up on your trainings. Catch up on your personal development. You can do some exercises in your house and still stay fit. Spend some time with your family. Guys, this is not a time to be negative and be depressed and be worried. No, it's not that time. This is the time that you're supposed to be able to say, what can I get done that I haven't gotten done? Right? A lot of us, include myself, like my house is like crazy. So I'm going to use this opportunity to clean my house thoroughly the way it should be cleaned anyway. I shouldn't need a virus to be looming for me to do that, but I'm going to use this time as an opportunity to do that. I'm going to talk to people that I haven't talked to in a minute that I've been trying to catch up with and I haven't gotten a chance to. Some business, some friends. So this is not a time, guys, to be negative. It's not a time to be panicking, to be impatient with your kids because they're home from school. It's not their fault. Like, work with your kids. Catch your kids up on things. Like, this is why having a home business is so important. This is why being your own boss is so important, because you have more control over what happens when you don't have control over things like the government telling us, hey, like, this is the situation that we're going to be in. And they're doing it to protect us. But what are you doing while you're in that circumstance? It's people that are saying, I'm going to be in the house for 2 or 3 weeks. I don't have the groceries I need, but I don't even have the money to get the groceries I need. You see what I'm saying? This side hustle, this extra money, you want to go home and go to sleep? No, you can't go home and go to sleep. Work a full-time job, get off your job, and work your home business so that when things like this happen, you're not using your emergency fund to pay for things like food. You're using the extra money that you make. Leaders don't panic. If you're leading your household, do not use this as a time to panic. Like I said, if you look at the real stories, not the opinion news, the real stories. Look at programs from doctors. Look at programs from people who are natural or urban, because if you're a person you're not into big pharma and you want to look at people who are doing natural stuff and all those kind of things, whatever you're into when it comes to health, look at those organizations and listening to what they're saying. This is a different virus, a different strain of whatever. I don't know what all that means. What I do understand is what I'm hearing from several different medical professionals, whether they're big pharma or whether they're natural healers, is that people who can beat the flu can beat this. People will die from it, but most people won't. There's no need to fear. There's no need to panic. The government, the medical professionals, whoever, CDC, they'll get a hold of how to do all of this and get it worked out like they always do. Like they always do. But instead of you being worried about it, use it as a time. Guys, look at our history. Some of the biggest millionaires, billionaires in our country created their wealth during the Depression. So I want you to look at things like that. Some of the worst times in U.S. history have created some of the biggest billionaires in our history. Because the smart people, the intelligent people, the leaders, they use the bad environmental situations. They use whether even if it's the stock market. When the stock market goes down and people are panicking, guess what the leaders are doing? They wait until it hits the bottom and then they buy. I got friends that's like, hey, Dunbar, when you going to go buy a house? When you going to go buy a house? I'm like, I'm not buying a house. The market is good right now. Why would I buy a house while the market is good? I did real estate years ago. I did real estate 15 years ago, right? So I know when to buy a house. I'm not going to buy a house at the top of the market. I'm going to buy a house when the market goes down. When the market goes down, is as negative as this may sound to somebody looking at this video, right? I'm a shark. I'm a business owner. Like, I go after blood. That's what it is. Like that's my personality. So when the market goes down, people who made bad decisions and bought houses they couldn't afford, who go into foreclosure, people who have to go through short sale, people who have to lose their properties for whatever, and a house that's a $400,000 house that's being sold at $200,000, $230,000, $270,000 because the person overbought or whatever the scenario was. I'm going to get that house when the market crashes. That's what I'm going to do. Because then when the market comes back, I'm going to have a house that's going to have a lot more equity in it than it should because I bought it at low value. So you got to take advantage of bad scenarios. This is a bad scenario, right? We know that an epidemic or a situation like this is a bad scenario. But you can use this scenario and be positive and have a great outcome. You know what I mean? Open up some board games in the house and mend that relationship with your family. Like strengthen that relationship with your family. Like, you know what I mean? If you got grandkids somewhere, like, hey, tell your kids and their grandkids, hey, y'all come to our house so we can all hang out. It's probably going to be some fighting and fussing going on, but that's family. But you know what I mean? Y'all can mend, y'all can build together. Like, make use of the time because you don't get the time back. You don't get the time back. So don't panic. As a leader, you got to turn this into a scenario where the people who are following you understand that they can make money, they can build relationships, they can spend time together, they can, positive things can come out of this, they can catch up on things. And if they see that that's what you're doing and you're not panicking, if when they walk in the house, the television is on positive things, like maybe a Dr. Oz or something like that. And if you don't like Dr. Oz, that's fine, but you guys know what I mean. Somebody talking about how we're going to get through this, not all the damage that's happening. Don't look at all the places that are closing because of this scenario. Look at all of the things that you can do positively while this stuff is going on. And just be hyper vigilant when it comes to washing your hands and using hand sanitizer and all those different things. So you got to lead from the front. Leaders don't panic. I've got an organization of people that I work with my network marketing company here with Legal Shield. And, you know, when I'm talking to them, I'm like, hey, like, we still working, guys. We still working. If you didn't take time off, spend some time with your family, I get that. But, like, we ain't taking time off to panic. Like, we're building. Like, you know, our leaders are doing live recruiting events on Zoom and on Facebook for us to continue to build our business through and make money. You know, the cold states understand that best. When it's a blizzard and a snowstorm, people in the house call them. That's what we do. I think it was a story by by Jim. I think it was not a story, but a message that Jim Rohn said, and I'm sure he got it from maybe a Zig Ziglar or somebody else. You know, all this stuff is stolen. All personal development comes from the Bible, but you know, it goes through the hands of so many professional speakers and motivated talkers and all those kind of things. And he talked about the salesman who got up and looked out the window and says, "Hey man, like it's raining outside, so I guess we'll stay in. Can't make no money today. Like it's raining, nobody's gonna be out there." And then that's what the negative salesperson said. But then the positive salesperson got up and looked out the window and said, "Man, it's a great day to make some phone calls, go out there and knock on some doors, right? People are going to be home and nobody's going to be out there, especially other salesmen, you know, because what are they doing? They're sitting in the house using the weather as an excuse. You can use this as an excuse to do nothing, or you can use this as an excuse to come out of this and be better, be stronger. So that's what you got to look at. Like me personally, I had to cancel out on a Super Saturday today in Tampa. I had to cancel out on a CDLP training in Tampa today because it was in the best interest of the audience that was going to be in front of me to not catch what I may still have remnants of. It wasn't fair to them. But I'm going to use my time over these next 2 days to still build my business. I'm going to still use time to to build with family and talk to people and do things. I'm going to stay active and keep my mentality in a positive place and don't let what's going on in the world and all these things that you see on TV, they have to be said. The president has to get on there and say what he has to say. You know, companies have to say they closing. If our international convention for any given reason doesn't go, I would hope that wouldn't happen. But if it doesn't go, I'm sure our company's going to have something in place, streaming or something where we can get information, because real leaders don't let government, environmental situations, they don't let the worldly things stop them from hitting their goals. We don't do that. So I'm just letting you guys know, like, leaders don't panic and don't sell out on the people that's following you because they're watching you. We call that modeling knowledge. So you got to make sure that when all of this is going on, you keep your posture, you keep your strength, you keep being courageous, even if you get scared about something, even if you catch something and you're scared because you don't know whether it's the coronavirus, you got to still keep your poker face on. And if you find out that that's what it is, then find out what you need to do to beat it, and then go in and beat it. And we know that some people aren't going to make it through that scenario. And guess what? Some of the people aren't making it through flu season every year. Some people aren't making it through heart attacks every day. That's the world we live in. But there's still no need to panic. So I want to shoot this video just to let people know, hey guys, again, leaders don't panic. Leadership starts with you. If you're like, hey, my upline or my team leadership or the person I'm around, like they're already panicking, okay, well then you be the leader. You be the leader and let it start with you. But leaders don't panic, and we can't live in a world where everybody's scared to death, because who's going to have courage if everybody's scared to death, right? You can't allow that to happen that way. So Robert Dunbar, Training by Dunbar, signing off. 22-minute video, that's long. But hopefully you guys will be in the house and y'all can watch it, right? So again, smash the like button, smash the subscription button on the bottom right-hand side. Hit the notification bell if you want to get alarmed or notified, I should say, twice a week when I shoot a video. Oh yeah, remember I said positive things come out of this stuff? So just keep in mind, I've been trying to lose 7 pounds for like the last 6 months. The last 7 pounds I've been trying to lose, I've been losing weight. But the last 7 pounds, it's been taking me 6 months to lose. But guess what? I lost it while I was sick. So I lost 6 of the 7. So I got 1 more pound left to lose. So thank you, Adult Virus. So Robert Dunbar here, signing off. Training by Dunbar. Look forward to seeing you guys in some marketplace soon.